Welcome to Midweek Service provided by the Church Sound Podcast. This is our version of tech news with your host, Prentice Thompson. Have you ever wondered, how do I mic a drum set, or what about getting audio to my live stream? We're here for you. This is tech news, new product reviews, and everything you need to know about what you need to know. Welcome to Midweek Service.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Church Sound Podcast Midweek Service. I'm your humble host, Mr. Prentice Thompson. And what we do every Thursday is audiovisual training, product reviews, and product application concepts. And before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, review, share. If you do all those things, that will be greatly appreciative to me and to our team who work very, very, very hard to get these videos to you. So without any further ado, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people just don't do. And I've been at a lot of churches, and I've worked with a lot of churches, and this seems to be the thing that goes undone the most. And we're going to talk about the line check. Now, what is line check? I know you've heard sound check. And if you're not doing sound check, I digress. We have to talk about that some more too. Line check. What is line check? Line check is it's the process of making sure that all microphones, cables, direct boxes, stage monitors, everything, your batteries in the wireless system, pastor's mic, singer's mics, anything that passes audio, you check it line for line. Before a sound check, before the band arrives, before the praise and worship team arrives, you do what we call line check. And this is what it looks like.
There have been occasions where line check happens during sound check happens during rehearsal, and rehearsal happens during the first service. Well, I don't know if that's an uncomfortable laughter or if it's funny because it's true.
If you do line check, I can guarantee you that your sound check will be better and your service will be better. Your morning worship will be better because you've taken the time to make sure that everything is working. Why is that important? Because when you know it's working, there's no surprises. The last thing you want is in the middle of service, find out that singer 3, soprano Mike, who's about to do a solo, battery dies. The last thing you want is to have the singer turn on mic 5 and you have not swept for feedback in the monitor and the feedback just rings through the system. The last thing you want to do is the pastor's mic turns on and it's too hot and you haven't adjusted it and it's ringing and services, he's about to get into his word, her word, whoever's preaching, and it sounds horrible. You must do line check before everything you do. Morning service, youth service, senior meetings. Every time audio is passed, the engineer should be there before the event to check to make sure everything is working properly. Because what happens is you will find out if something's working or not. You have a choice, though. I'll give you the two choices. Ready? You can find out alone, or you can find out in front of a crowd. You can find out with your team or in the middle of service. Because if something's going to go wrong, the best way to find out if it's gone wrong is in the privacy of your own team or by yourself. Because then you can solve it without the embarrassment, without being visible, right? Did I tell you I got a book coming out called Be Invisible for AV teams? It's coming out very soon. And it talks about all these types of things. So, AV teams, multimedia teams, worship pastors, worship leaders, whoever you are out there who's listening, do me a favor. Make sure your AV team is doing line check every single time. Make your life simple and not complicated and not difficult, because it doesn't have to be. If you just take the time to do line check before sound check, and we'll get into sound check later, right? We should. I think we should. So that's all I got for today. Make sure you subscribe, share, review, and like us, man. You know, we like you. We'll see you next week, and like I always say, I will see you in the Matrix.